T's no longer allowed to select thieves tools?
Yeah, no, you can't.
Burn this whole ship down. Have you ever wanted to be good at swords? Did you ever want to stab someone in the back? What about raging with a battle axe? Or better yet, any weapon you choose. Well, now with weapon mastery, you can choose any freaking weapon you want and be really heckin' good at it. So that's what we're gonna talk about actually here on Hot Girl Crit. We got our beautiful...
Hey guys, it's your favorite, it's Carice.
And it's me, Jesus. And yeah, we're gonna discuss things in the new book that's coming out to get all of you guys prepared. Because it's coming out in a couple days, probably by the time this video comes out. If I time it correctly, it should already be out. So you watch us, and then you're like, wow, those peoples, they're so cool. I want to play a barbarian and a rogue and or a fighter. And we'll tell you all about it. Well, at least the information that we got.
The correct answer is you want to play a monk, but...
That'll be the last video we do with the special abilities. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna discuss fighters first, then move into barbarians, then move into rogues. The best class, rogues. To be quite honest.
Rogues are pretty great.
Because they brought back the one ability that I love for rogues that makes me want to be able to play my favorite character of all time back in 3.5. And we'll get that in a minute. But fighters, okay, fighters and also anything else, but fighters do it the best is, again, weapon mastery. That's kind of like the big thing that they're focusing on, which the coolest thing. And one of the biggest gripes is when you're playing this game and you're like, I want to use a mace, or I want to use a pickaxe, or I want to use any weapon. At the end of the day, you're gonna say no. You're gonna use a maul or a greatsword because they have the highest damage out there. And you're like, well, I could use a great axe, and you're like, that's a D12. No, you're not. You're gonna use the highest damage weapon out there.
You're gonna do the 2d6.
Yeah. So what changed is every single weapon has an ability now that you can access with your weapon mastery. So like tripping or sap. I don't remember all the names.
Cleave is one of them.
Yeah, cleave.
Yeah, cleave.
There's some like, even if you miss, you still like nick them. Like there's just like cool abilities out there, which is just really cool because it gives you, every single weapon is unique now, which is dope. So going on for fighters, proficiency, they get a persuasion as an option now because we want to be able to talk. They get fighting styles are now feats, making them more broadly accessible, which is kind of cool. Second wind, you get to use it more often now, and also I believe you get more abilities with second wind as you level up. Like one of them is you get to like move up to half your speed without an attack of opportunity with your second wind, and you get the whole focus from when I was like listening to Crawford and the other guy who I don't remember his name, and like reading on forums is, I think they're trying to make fighters feel like, in my head it felt like, not that any person in D&D is main character, but like feel like that not main character syndrome, but like the person that does not give up, the person that
the anime character.
Yeah, like
that's what I was getting the vibe also of fighters, that they're trying to be like the anime protagonist, you know, when you throw them across the room and then they get up and they're like, I'm just getting started, even though they just got the shit beaten out of them.
I was thinking of overcoming odds, but yeah, that's way better. Oh man, because they get things like Tactful Mind, which lets them use, I think it's like the fighter level. In Tactful Mind, you spend a second win and add a D10 on a failed ability check. So like, oh, you can't control me, I'm Keanu Reeves. Like, something like that. Keanu Reeves is totally a great fighter. Also, Keanu Reeves is Shadow. Holy shite, that's dope. I'm so excited for this movie now. I didn't care about it until I learned that detail.
Oh my god.
What did you do? What I had to.
What movie are you talking about?
Sonic 3?
Oh, I haven't seen any of them.
Sonic 1 was great. I skipped 2, and I'm gonna watch 3.
I heard they were all really good, but I just... Sorry guys, if you're a Sonic fan out there, like my partner is, he's not pleased with me that I haven't seen them either.
Oh, well.
But he has not finished Fellowship of the Ring with me yet in our half a decade long relationship, so...
Yeah.
Pretty even.
it's pretty much the same thing. Well, yeah. So the idea is you pick a fighter, and then you just focus on a weapon, and then you can do cool things. Eventually, at like level 9, you get Tactful Mastery, which is a new ability that either you push, sap, or slow down. Like you can change. Because you're so good at using a weapon, the idea is that you can change the property of said weapon to do something that you're good at. Because like you know how to fight well, and you can like do something and always have these 3, which was it, push, sap, or slow, as your like you always have those in the back of your back in your pocket. Always have in your pocket. Here's a sap.
There we go.
And the biggest change that is great is 2 extra attacks has been renamed from extra attack 2.
Wow!
I know, isn't it great?
2 extra attacks renamed.
I do. If I remember correctly, I think you get it at level 11 instead of level 10, so you do get your extra attacks a little bit later. But I actually think the name's more confusing now.
Yeah, extra attack 2 is a little weird.
Yeah.
It sounds like one of like the bad, like it would be the name of one of like Team Rocket's teams or something in Pokemon.
Yeah. I just like
extra attack 2.
Just like it's attacks and then X2 or X3. I don't know. Whatever. It just hey, at level 20, even if you miss an attack, you still hit.
Hey yo.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
I mean, to be honest, if your DM still has you guys playing like well into level 20, I think it's time to start a new campaign.
20-year campaign.
You're basically
Let's go.
a god at that point.
Yeah. All right. So Battle Master. Battle Master. The simplified is you're just good at maneuvers. You pick every feat in the book. Your whole character sheet is just gonna be feats. I think that's pretty much all it's gonna be.
It's gonna be a very intense character.
Champion. I think a lot of things. So Remarkable Athlete has been reworked. You move from level 7 to level 3 now.
Yep.
Okay, so you gain advantages on initiative, and strength checks.
Athletics,
yeah, and you get athletics, and you move half your speed.
After scoring a critical hit?
Yeah. You also get more additional fighting styles. Heroic Warrior. It is Heroic Inspiration, so you get more Heroic Inspirations, which we've been doing Heroic Inspiration the whole time.
Yeah, that's how we've always played.
Yeah, which it's just instead of rolling 2 dice as an advantage, you just roll a d20, and then you're like, I didn't like that roll again. That's how we've been doing it, so I think like they just copied us, to be quite honest. And then Survivor also improves on your death saves. Oh, okay, so that's kind of cool. Eldritch Knight, I think the biggest and dopest improvement is that they're no longer limiting to a couple schools of magic. You can use any school of magic.
Okay.
Which is freaking dope. So like they're opening up to everything, which is amazing. And then Psionic Warriors.
There's almost no changes like with the Psionic Warrior, right?
I also have you ever noticed that nobody plays Psionic Warrior?
Yeah.
Dude, no one plays Psionic.
Nobody does, but
no one plays Psionics. It's Barbarians. The best thing is Rage. Now lasts 10 minutes.
Which is actually crazy.
Yes. You can force a rage to continue if you weren't attacked or if you didn't hit anybody. If you somehow make an opponent make a save, like a what's like a good example, like a Dragon Ball, like using a breath weapon.
Yeah.
Or if you use a bonus action
To continue
maintain it. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Like all these classes, they're all gonna have the weapon mastery like ability. Reckless now has been reworked, and there's like different ways that you can use it. Like I believe you can forego your reckless attack, like your own advantage, to deal extra damage.
Okay.
You get primal knowledge, which is like which I think is hilarious because you gain a knowledge, but you use your strength score instead of like whatever like ability score it's supposed to be.
That's when you're raging though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So like, I'm so angry. I fucking know algebra. It's so amazing.
I see this as an absolute win.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I was angry a lot in high school, and that did not help me with that.
There's a pursuit option which like makes you, when you're raging, move up to your speed, like chase somebody, which is dope. It reminds me of that scene. If you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, go watch it. Have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine?
Nope. I want to go see it, but I haven't yet.
This is not a spoiler. I'm just saying there's a scene where Wolverine runs on all fours and there kind of is that mental image of like a barbarian or
Oh yeah, he used to do that in the comics.
Yeah, so like that's the image. Okay, it's not a spoiler. This is the thing I don't like, and I understand why. I just don't like it because I have made it work, so brutal critical has been removed. If you didn't know what brutal critical was, anytime you crit as a barbarian, you add another die.
It's crazy.
That's why D12s were amazing with barbarians, and I specifically made a barbarian with the great axe to do brutal critical. So anytime I crit, I add more D12s instead of like a great sword that adds 2d6s. It would add 1d6 because it's a die, not the weapon. So how I did it was dip it to fighter, and then your crits are 19, 18, right?
Yep.
So that would be the idea. I only made it up to 19 because the campaign went, I didn't stretch enough. But I've critted a few times, and then you crit, critical comes in, my whole class is built on me critting. And I love it, but they took it away.
I feel like also 5.5 really isn't supporting multi-classing the way the 5 did.
It might not be, to be honest.
I don't think they want people to multi-class since they give you everything at level 3. They're like, no more 1 level of warlock, 19 levels of paladin. I refuse.
Yeah, they might not be doing it. Yeah.
We can get to that in another video.
Yeah. So moving on to subclasses, Frenzy, which is like the idea of barbarian when you think barbarian, but not a lot of people like playing Frenzy. I like playing Frenzy, but I hate it, or at least the idea of barbarian for me is high risk, high reward.
Yeah,
and
I completely agree.
Going berserker, like Frenzy berserker, is the epitome of that. But the consequence was so much that like I limited when I went berserk. They took out that, so you no longer get exhausted when you go into a frenzy. So no more levels of exhaustion, which is dope. Which is good. So
intimidating presence is changing as well.
Yeah.
It works as a bonus action?
Yeah.
And lasts up to a minute.
So that's kind of cool. So that's dope.
Once per day for free. Yeah, then you can spend a rage to use it again.
So I think the one that has the most like flexibility is the Totem Barbarian, which is I think where a lot of people play Barbarian for.
Yeah, a lot of people go that route.
Now it's no longer Totem, it's now the Wild Heart, and the name changed for a couple of reasons in my opinion. One is because the Totem Barbarian kind of puts you into this position of like, I am like a wolf totem. And even though the book does change, you can like pick whatever you want, tiger or elk or whatever. A lot of people like stick with that one totem because like I am wolf, right?
Yeah,
or I am elk, or I am tiger.
Yeah.
This one doesn't do that. You are the spirit of all the animals.
I think that's one of the reasons why they changed the name of it from Path of the Totem Warrior, I think it was, to Path of the Wild Heart now. Yeah. To where you're just wild now.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, 100%. And
I like the name change.
I also do love that once you pick an animal, when you rage, you can like switch it. You're no longer locked in to so like.
Okay, because it used to be, I believe, whenever you leveled up, you could swap.
Yeah.
correct?
So like you're no longer. So like I like. We're in like a crazy river situation, and like I need to go save my friend who is drowning. I'm gonna like tap into the spirit of the salmon. I rage, and I have swim speed. Or like, holy crap! Like the dragon's flying away with another ally. Why am I chasing my friends? That might be some subconscious thing inside me. I tap into the spirit of the falcon, and now like I have wings that I can go like catch up with them.
I do like that change.
Yeah, I think it's really, really cool. So you have like this plethora of cool, like you have eagle, bear, wolf, owl, panther, salmon. There's so many dope animals here.
I care not for bear anymore. I'm very angry about bear.
Why are you angry about bear?
Oh my god, they ruined it. I'm sorry. It was just so iconic. Oh my god. So now, you were resistant to everything except for psychic damage, which was such a niche thing that was just kind of iconic in the community. Everybody knows that. Psychic damage will fuck you up, right? But now, I understand they have buffed the subclass, but now you're also non-resistant to force, which makes no sense about force, but
to be honest, 100% just not.
Force doesn't make sense to me. Now the other ones I kind of understand.
Force is just bludgeoning damage with a little spice to it.
Literally, it's just spicy bludgeoning damage, but force, necrotic, and radiant. Okay, I kind of get the necrotic and radiant. It sucks, but I understand those. My biggest gripe is with the force one.
Force does not make sense to me.
Like, I do not understand the force damage.
If they would have made necrotic, radiant, and psychic, I'd have been like, fine, you can have your barbarians don't go to space. I get it, but
no space.
Force.
I understand that they're not immune to heavenly fire. I get it, or resistant. You guys know what I mean. But force?
Yeah, no.
I don't know, but that's just me, guys. Sorry, BK. That's just my little soapbox. But I do like the changes to the class. I'm just out of pure spite. I would probably never go bear just because I'm mad. Even if we're going against something where I would be resistant to all the damage, I'm like, I'm just not gonna use it because I'm mad.
I'm just and the true barbarian right there.
And then they'd be like, Carice, the game's been out for 5 years now.
Shut up. So, Berserker or Frenzy and Wildheart are barbarians of like anger within. These two, the next two, the Path of the World Tree, and then the Path of the Zealot are like grasping into like forces of like the cosmos, and grabbing strength from that instead of like.
It's not as emotional in my opinion.
Yeah. So Path of the World Tree, which I think is gonna be like the popular one, probably because of Yggdrasil and.
It just sounds so cool, bro.
To be honest, it does.
And it's new.
I think that one sounds the funnest. That's battle control. Like that one's gonna piss off DMs here and there. I mean, piss off DMs is not correct to say. I think it's gonna be like, holy shit, you did that. That's dope. High five. But some people out there might not like it. So. Eventually, like the big thing at level 14 is that you get to teleport, which is like because you're connected to the world tree that connects all the multiverse pretty much. This is the tank of the tanks. You gain temporary HP. You give others temporary HP. You actually are able to like grow like limbs and your weapons get reach. I kind of imagine like Groot. Like your arm reaches a little bit.
Yeah.
You also stop people from running away. Like there's like a 30-foot like radius around you that you're like no, and like I don't know. I imagine like branches come up and grab the enemy, like prevent them from like.
Yeah, it's flavor.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like essentially, you force people to stop running away. You have a longer reach. You have more HP, temp HP. You give other people temp HP, and then you move around on the battlefield. Like, that is a fun barbarian right there. Zealot barbarians, you are a heavenly barbarian, and you no longer have to die to get to your abilities, which apparently that was a thing originally, but I never RP'd that, so.
Whoops.
Yeah. But yeah. So you lets you be raised from the dead for free. Instead, you get a small pool of D12s, which you can use to heal yourself as a bonus action. Okay. I like the idea of you not infinitely just reviving yourself from the dead. That's kind of cool on me. But yeah, I mean, the tell Barbarians. All right. Rose. The best class in D&D. In Dungeons and Dragons, you either play rogue or you don't. That's your only options. I forgot what I wrote, and I had to do a double take. Expertise no longer allowed to select thieves' tools?
Yeah, no, you can't.
Burn this whole ship down.
They don't want you to be able to roll a 42 to unlock a door.
Burn the whole ship down. Thieves' Cant, when you select Thieves' Cant, you also get a language, which I think they should just focus on Thieves' Cant. What we do is actually we use Vagabond and Hobo language, which is great. Why don't you do that, Dungeons and Dragons? Make Thieves' Cant actually a language that uses tools.
Did they say it's just...
Thieves' Cant is just Thieves' Cant. Thieves can talk to thieves. That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones, you get Weapon Mastery. Cunning Strike. This is cool. And we didn't talk about this in the other video and I forgot. But like most things Dungeons & Dragons doing, I think they're stealing our notes. Cunning Strike is, and I can show you. I'll show you. So Sneak Attack, you can actually take away some Sneak Attack dice because eventually you get like a giant pool of Sneak Attack.
Yeah.
And instead of just doing flat out damage, you can do other things like poison or trip or etc.
Okay. In replace of your extra damage?
Yes.
Okay.
Like my Trap Maker subclass, that all they do is build traps, but they have two options on their trap making abilities: high damage that's just pure D10s, or half that damage, and then a secondary effect like poisoning, or tripping, or paralyzing. I swear, God. Same thing with the freaking Goliaths, yo. Okay,
We can get on that.
Goliaths are not just half giants, okay? Goliaths are their own individual peoples. There are mountain folk. They took away the entire Goliath culture and then just made it into like, now you're a fire giant descendant.
So guys, I'm just kidding.
So, moving in to the subclasses. Alright, Arcane Trickster. Arcane Trickster is the magic boy of thief, and then Soul Knife is the magic boy of assassin.
Yeah.
That's
a really good way to put it.
Okay, Arcane Trickster, just like Eldritch Knight, has no restriction on School of Magic. Dope.
Which I do like.
Yes. That's probably like the biggest coolest thing. But also your Mage Hand. Eventually, when you use, like, you know how you can trip someone when you reduce your sneak attack. Your Mage Hand can also trip people because your Mage Hand is some part of you too. So like, I think that was a pretty cool like little addition where you can like use your Mage Hand for things outside of just like, I'm 10 feet away, like, sorry, I'm like a trap here and there. And I think the focus on the Arcane Trickster is the trip ability within your weapons.
Yeah.
So like all you're doing is just like tripping people and like making sure like they're like off balance so you can be able to do your next things.
Yeah, you're a trickster.
Yeah. So that's pretty dope. Assassin. I think Assassin got a lot of rework.
I loved playing an assassin rogue.
Yes.
I know they're not the strongest, but I really liked it.
I think Assassin is a really solid. I go back and forth between Assassin and Thief. It just depends on my mood that day. Usually Thief wins, but Assassin is really, really dope. Assassinate got a lot of rework done. Essentially now it's two things. One, advantage on initiative rolls because they want you to go first.
Yeah. You don't have to pair it with the alert feat anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But if you do though, let me think about it.
Oh, 100%.
And you no longer crit when you do the damage. Now is you get advantage on attacking anyone that hasn't gone first. So I think it's kind of a nerf in my opinion.
That is definitely a nerf.
Yeah.
The whole reason why you would do it is just to get the auto crit.
I feel that assassins don't assassinate.
Yeah, that isn't.
That is kind of what I'm seeing here. That's they rogues have steady aim, which I think was an unearthed icon thing where it's like if you stop your movement, you have advantage on like range attacks. Assassins don't ignore that. You can move and have an advantage to shoot.
Yeah.
Which remember, if you have advantage, that means you sneak attack.
Yeah.
So you get to give yourself sneak attacks on your shooting if you hit. Deadly Strike at level 17 only requires you to hit before someone else on the first round. So that I think is kind of cool. But like they nerf the fuck out of Assassinate though, which I think that kind of downplays Assassins a lot.
Yeah, kind of, man, that sucks. They're already not really that played.
Yeah, so like I don't know, that to me feels like the big nerf, but from the DM side, it's like when someone knows how to play an assassin, you gotta really be like, okay, gotta put like an extra little skeleton in there because I know that Creef is gonna knock him down first round. That's just a Creef buffer right there. But Soul Knife, is just a little magic boy. No real changes there. If I believe they're just getting the Vex weapon property. With when I read that, I thought it meant Vex, like Vex from Vox Machina. And I was like, because they're the anime boy. Oh, never mind.
Vex is the girl. Vex is the boy.
They're twins.
Oh my god.
So, Thief. Saving the best for last, because this is what I really want to talk about. Fast Hands. Now allows you to use magic items.
Ooh.
So, that means you can magic item as bonus action.
Interesting.
So, you know, like, let's say you have a wand in your offhand, like a wand of magic missile or something.
Yeah.
It takes an action. Bonus action.
That's crazy.
I know, right? Ain't it? It's
That's pretty crazy.
It's great. I don't know if that's how intentionally it is. I'm sure there's gonna be some restrictions on it.
There probably will be when it's like actually released.
Yeah, but like fast hands, magic items, bonus action. Love the idea, and I think they're kind of working back on. In 3.5, there used to be in 3.0 a skill called Use Magic Device. No longer a thing. I think Thief is really playing off of the idea of a rogue being able to use magical devices.
Yeah.
Which I think is really, really cool.
I like that. Okay.
Because you're like this person that can just like, I don't want to say hack, but like you can like, you work with magic a lot, right? So level 13, you get to be able to get a 4th attunement slot. The old thing is when you use magic device is you ignore any restrictions with magical items. That used to play out more in older editions. But in 5th edition, it doesn't really have any restrictions. Like this staff is like the dwarven hammer can only be used by dwarves. But I'm a human, so I can't use that hammer. Even as a rogue, I can't use a hammer. But as a thief rogue, I ignore that property and I can use it.
Yeah.
They kind of ignore that because that's such a niche thing that I don't think the books are really playing with that at all anymore. So they took that away. I feel that's why they took it away. And instead, what they're doing is giving you another attunement slot, and you can now use spell scrolls. So that's really, really dope.
Okay.
Because you can't cast spells and because you don't have a spell list, you're probably gonna still have to roll Arcana checks.
Yeah.
So it would probably, if you're going Thief, I would recommend probably picking a background that has Arcana trained. That would be my first thing to do. I'm already thinking about it. I'm already like going into what I'm gonna make. But I'm just saying to bring back my 3.5 rogues. Bring back use magic device as a skill. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but those are the martial classes for right now. We'll discuss the other classes later as we make more videos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
definitely we have to get to the monk.
we can discuss the monk next. We have magic users, divine, and primal ones, and then we also have your special hybrid classes, which has monks, rangers, bards. We'll discuss them next.
Yay!
Definitely your favorite.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it.
Please tell us in the comments, what are you ready to play? Who's your favorite fighter, barbarian, or rogue?
Yes, and don't forget to kind of coochie-coo on that little like button right there.
Yeah.
If you like our content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Go coochie-coo that button.
Please.
Bye.